We are live again. Welcome, people. I am back. I am Rex Red, and this is EZ3DTV. And we have a tutorial planned today. It says we have an excellent connection. So I will be back right after we play our splash screen. Angus, you are the first one in today. Very, very, very good. Very nice to see you here, my friend. It is very nice. So what we have here, this is going to be a tutorial about advanced lighting, okay? This is probably the most, now it's not incredibly complicated, okay? These are things you do anyway. As you can see right here, we are in this particular image, okay? And I'm going to pull this over a little bit here. We have one light, one spotlight, okay? So this spotlight, and it's pretty cool how this is not some trick of the, this is not some illusion trick, okay? This light right here, as you can see these little particles going through the air, is projecting this one light is projecting through a volume, okay? It's through our poof, okay? And so it's projecting through the volume that we have in here. This is our poof, and the volume puts like tiny particles in the air, like as if it was smoke or something like that. And so this enables us to have this kind of splay of color through, like as if it were going through a church window or something. And this is exactly what this is going through, okay? Now you will not find, welcome Brent, welcome friend. You are here for, you are going to be very amazed by this tutorial, okay? This tutorial is going to encompass parts of the last tutorial, and then we're going to take it a step further. We're going to bump it up, okay? No, this is not using an EXR. This is just a regular spotlight, okay? That I've kind of focused a little bit. I took some of the, you know how it kind of fades around the edges? I made it kind of sharp around the edges, okay? Now, we're going to talk about this here, okay? Now, first, I kind of want to tell you that you will not... Oh, very nice, very nice. Thank you. Thank you for the patronage, because my videos need watchers very bad. So, I think this video will serve you. It all depends. If you're watching the last video, you may not need to watch that, okay? Because this is going to encapsulate what was taught in the last video, so you won't feel like you're kind of behind, okay? But then it's going to take the last video to the final step, okay? All right? Now, what you're going to learn in this video is not something, I do not believe that this has not been taught in any video on YouTube to date, okay? Number one. And number two, I did not learn this in the forums. If I were to ask somebody how to do this in the forums, I don't think anybody, including Richard, would know how to do this, okay? I spent like about 3 hours last night from 3 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning, about 2.5 hours. It was like 5:30 when I finally got back to bed. And I am so glad I got up and learned how to do this. Okay, now if I unclick my light, you can see a little bit more of what this is about. Okay, but this is an amazing thing right here, okay? There's no tricks, okay? There's no, like this isn't like an image that I put here. I didn't like make it. This image is being projected, okay? And I'm going to show you. Now imagine if you have a window and you want to put a light through it and you want to have these kinds of colored rays going through the window, okay? Now, then you're going to learn how to do this, okay? And that is what this video is about. It's about this really, really amazing technique that now I know I'm not the only one in the world who knows about this, because it wouldn't be possible, I don't believe. Maybe NVIDIA hasn't conceived that this is possible, but they had to make it possible through all of the various different parameters that they have made available for Iray. And you're going to see, and when you see how I made this, you're going to say, how in the heck did he ever stumble upon, how did he figure this out? Because it was I was trying to do something and I couldn't get it to work, and I couldn't get it to work, and I tried this and tried that. I tried everything. And then I said, oh, I'll try this. I know it's not going to work. I know it won't. I would have bet money it wouldn't have worked. And all of a sudden, well, there it is. There is what I was trying to do. Okay? Now, just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to break this down for you. We're going to go into texture shaded mode. And what I'm going to show you here now, if you can probably kind of guess by looking at my scene, okay? It's a very simple scene, okay? But it's setting the parameters up to make this work, okay? And what you have is one light in the scene, okay? We're not doing any other tricks with lights, okay? So it's only one spotlight in the scene. And I believe that you really have to use a spotlight, okay? Because if you think about it, spotlights have these abilities to really, it has all these parameters for focusing and making a beam, okay? And you need a strong beam. You don't need like something that just spreads out light all willy-nilly, okay? you need something that focuses a point of light into a long distance, okay? And so I suppose you could probably put something, you know, a sphere, and just make the light so darn bright that it would focus through and do this. But why do that? Why not just use the focused surgical beam of a spotlight, okay? So you put your spotlight in the scene, and then we have a poof, okay, is a VDB. That's what gives us this atmosphere, okay? And you have to attenuate everything in this scene. You have to attenuate to make it do this, okay, kind of effect, all right? So you have to attenuate your atmosphere. Yeah, you'll get it to work, but you won't end up with this kind of like very dark part where it'll go everywhere, and you'll end up with this really massive kind of absorption into the light. All of the VDB will absorb the light, and you want it to just absorb it at the right way, like so that you can get this effect. Okay, so and then we have something here, very puzzling here, because it's going from this white light, and this is a plane, okay? And this plane has been set to a, it's been made small, okay, so that it is, I'd say what I'm going to do is explain this scene, and then we're going to begin a new scene, and we're going to build this from scratch, okay? So what this is a plane, okay, that has a, the plane has been made into a ghost light, okay? And I really almost don't want to tell anybody how this is done, but I'm gonna tell you. I'm just saying that, okay? Because it is one of my, it's my baby, all right? It's something I just figured out, and when you see how this is done, you're gonna say, oh my God, I would never have thought of doing that, all right? So now, of course, if this was coming down through a church and being projected onto the church floor, okay, you wouldn't show this white light. You would just show, the camera, like from this, okay, you would just show this here, okay, and there's your God rays. Okay, this is an amazing array of God rays, okay? It's just beautiful what we have here. And I'm sure that once you know how to do this, you'll be able to then do this yourself, okay? And perfect this particular technique, okay? So this is what we have here, all right? And, okay, all right, so what we have, now let's go back. I just wanted to kind of show you some of the things you can do with this. Now, what we have here is, I believe that, okay, I'm not sure why that clipped right there, because we don't have, all right, I think I'm on the wrong side. Okay, here we go. So, all right, we're going to go sideways. So we have two planes in here. So there are only 3 objects in this scene, 4 objects, okay? 4 objects in this scene. It's very simple, okay? Now you can incorporate other objects. We could put a figure standing here. We could do all kinds of things, other things into this scene, okay? Once you have this mechanism, you could pretty much group it all together, save it, and then just load it in it, and then alter it to fix to work. Now you see, I could put this in front of any window and create this beautiful array coming in through the window. All right, so what we have, I'm going to explain this now. We have 4 objects. We have a spotlight. We have 2 planes, okay? And this plane right here, it looks black, but it's a white plane. And it's black because we have our environment set, because this effect won't work in a bright room, okay? It will only work in a almost like pitch dark room, okay? God rays don't work in a white room. They just don't. They never will, okay? God rays only work in a dark room, okay? So we have a spotlight, we have 2 planes, and this plane, if this plane was black, okay, and I'll show you this. If I take this plane, this is a large plane, and we go into surfaces here, and we just take the base color and make it black, then we lose our, you see, it's not going to show the color. And so you can attenuate and say how bright you want that, because you see it's kind of washed out there. And so by changing the color of your plane, you can decide how washed out you want that to be. All right. So it's so there. Now I only had like 3 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours to work with this, to kind of create this and make this work. So we have our spotlight, we have 2 planes, and this plane is a very special little plane, okay? And then we have our poof, okay? And that is the VDB atmosphere from sickle yield, okay? Any VDB will kind of do this, as long, and anyone will pretty much do it. You just have to set the density and set the absorption multiplier and all of that. So to get it just right. So all right, so the very special plane that's really doing this. So this is just, this right here is just a white plane, okay? It's actually kind of grayish. I turned it down so it wouldn't be so white, so blown out. This is a white plane. Now I could probably get this to work on a white background. Is probably would have been the best way to do this, is to have this totally white and then attenuate this to all work with a totally white background, so that I didn't have to so I wouldn't have to kind of cheat by making this grayish, okay? I don't know. All right, it's still it's where do you begin your standard from, okay? Is something that's still elusive to me, okay? So now, but this plane right here, this is where most of the magic, okay? You know, there are all of these elements you have to get right. Even elements that aren't here, like your render settings. Now, if I were to go into render settings, and you will see optimization that I have the Caustic sampler on. Now, if I turn that off, look what happens to my light, okay? It kind of changes. It becomes kind of dead. When I turn that on, it just seems to wake up a little bit. All right. So is that necessary? I'm not sure, but it doesn't break this this effect, okay, by turning it off. All right. It still seems to be fine here. So that's something to consider. So even your render settings and your environment, okay, like I said, this won't work in a white room. Don't even try it. It just won't, you won't see any light at all, okay? So like if I make this white here, this will be gone, okay? It's just, there's nothing here then, okay? It's just, God rays only work again in a black room, okay? And why this looks gray, I'm not sure, okay? It is white, but it looks gray. I think, I'm not sure, because it's not getting any light directly on it, okay? I think it's coming only from, so, but it is actually a gray thing. It is white, because like I said, if I took this plane and made it black, that would disappear. That disk would disappear, okay? So all of the magic, not all of it, the greatest part of the magic happens with this plane, okay, here. And, okay, and this plane, all right? And so rather than try and, you know, explain it, okay, I'm going to rebuild this scene, okay? So what we're going to do, I have this all saved and everything, so we're just going to go File, New Scene here, Create. Would I like to save? No, 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 no. Okay, so we need a spotlight. All right, we're going to create a spotlight. Now the spotlight, now this might come out differently, but then the other one, all right? But let's see what we do here. Now we need two planes. Okay, so we'll put one plane in, all right, and this plane, okay, let's see. We need to rotate in front of the spotlight. Okay, now this is the front, okay, so this would be pointing in. So we take our plane parameters and rotate it X, and that would bring it up like this. Art, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are here. We have a new thing we're doing today. You will be quite amazed. This is going to go at a 90-degree angle for our light. So you are going to be amazed at what we're doing today. Now this spotlight is very little. So we're going to take this and scale it down. I really didn't need to put that big of a plane in the scene in the first place, but we're going to put this plane in here like this. Okay? And now you can see our spotlight here. And when we go into, you might want to set your spotlight up before. His name was Tattoo on Fantasy Island. That is, yes, I thought, I couldn't remember what his name was. It was something that, it just baffled me, okay? So I'm gonna try to do this with the least amount of steps, okay? So that, so that you don't think that it requires a million steps to do this. So now I'm going to take this plane here, and I'm going to duplicate it, edit, duplicate the plane. And this is plane 2, and we're going to call this large. All right. We're going to move this plane out here. That's weird how moving that plane out just changed the clipping effect. Something to think about. All right, so we're going to bring that plane out, like about there. And then we are going to scale this up. We're going to leave the plane white. And look at that now. Okay, this is coming through pretty wide. All right. So now what we need is a poof. We need a volume, okay, to create this. Now, obviously, this is very strange because this light right here apparently is passing right through the black plane. Now, who would have thought, because I haven't done anything with this plane, who would have thought that if you put a spotlight pointing at a plane, that it would pass right through it? Now, that may be because of this particular scene. It may be because I had spotlights in it and they were attenuated a certain way. I'm not sure. Just a moment. I have to be able to talk here. All right. So this may be because I had the scene attenuated before. But this spotlight is passing right straight through and shining. It's not going around it, okay? Or else you would see like a corona, okay? It's going right through. Obviously, it's going right through it. So let's put in our poof, okay? And this poof is kind of small. So we have to scale it up. All right? And we would have to bring this down, okay? So we have to scale this quite a bit. I don't know what I'm doing at all right now. But, okay, we're going to scale the poof up. We can't see it, really. Okay, but there it is, okay? And we might want to bring this down so that it's kind of thick. All right, in there. And over here. So we get a nice kind of even distribution. And now the problem is you can see this plane. And we want the plane invisible. All right? So the plane has to become a ghost light. So we use this this dev items is called Advanced Iray Node Properties. It's part of your DAZ Studio. You find that in your default, DAZ default items. Default, oh, I can't remember. I'll never remember that term. Okay, so but we want to put this on this plane, okay? We want to make, so it has to have these two properties, okay? It adds this special thing that NVIDIA created so that we could make a plane into a ghost light, all right? So you want both of these on here. So, all right, so you put them on. Okay, and what we end up with, so what we have to do now here in the environment, because remember I told you that you cannot make God rays in a white room or in a light room. You can't, you know, in a room with light, a lot of light in it. They just won't show up. They just will not. That's why you always see them in this like pitch black church that has like a window, okay? Because they will not show up in a white room. And it took me forever, okay? If you can learn one thing from me right now, is that don't try to set up your God rays or any kind of rays in a white room, because you won't see them and you'll say, why isn't this working? Okay? And that will be the first like real bad experience trying to do this, okay? So we go into the environment and we're going to click backdrop, and we're going to make the backdrop black so it will show up, okay? Now notice how this just kind of changed things, but we still have our scene. So we have to go into our environment options and we have to go scene only, okay? Now we have a totally black scene, okay? And as you can see, it looks like it's putting that light there, but it's not really doing a very good job of it, okay? So this light is so weak, it's not doing anything, okay? So we have to go now and attenuate the spotlight. So we go to parameters, and we go here, we go 999, okay? And what's happening is it looks like this is blocking my, it looks like it's blocking the light, okay? So, and that's not good, all right? So, and what's happening is it's, because of this is an object, it's diffusing off, it's bouncing off of that white plane. It's a white plane. They look black, but they're really white, okay? They're pure white, or they're close to pure white, okay? Yeah, it looks like this plane probably is pure white. If we go into the surfaces, let's see, is it pure white or is it close to pure white? Yeah, I think they are. They're all the way, they're pure white. And both planes are pure white. They look black because they're in a black room, okay? So what we now do is we collect, see this plane is the special plane. This is just a plane, okay? A white plane that's been made large. But this is the plane that you have to do all the special stuff to, okay? So now we go into parameters, and we want to make the plane invisible, all right? So we're going to turn invisible to primary rays when we do that. And I believe this has to be up. I don't know, it's like, I just go to 120, okay? But I believe that has to be turned up, okay? Now, it's still not passing through. This is blocking the light, okay? So then we go to surfaces, okay? And we come down here to refraction weight, and I believe, you see that's what happens? When we turn this refraction weight up, it lets that light pass right through our ghost light, okay? But unfortunately, okay, so what we're seeing now is this light passing right straight through. So the question is, what if we take this plane, okay, and we put, see, this is where my idea, this is where I had the idea, okay? What if I put a very colorful image on this plane, okay? What if I make this plane, so what would happen, okay? And so my first thought was that I would put it on the glossy, on the base color, okay? So it has a color, okay? So let's find browse. We go to our desktop, that's the wrong desktop, I think. This is the desktop, okay? And we go here and we find, and I have a new image. We're going to try this one. We load that on there, okay? Nothing happens. No pretty, okay? No colors, okay? So what do we do, all right? So you come down here and say, well, maybe it has to be on the emission color. And so we go here. That didn't do it. Maybe I have to turn the emission on. That didn't do it. Maybe it has to be on the luminance. So we put that there. Nope. Okay, we could turn the luminance up, but all that's going to do, what that will do is turn this into this plane. It will turn the plane into a light source. And that's kind of cheating, okay? Because what we want, we don't want this projecting from the plane. We want the color that this image, this beautiful image that we have here, we want this image to be like glass so that it projects through the glass and creates this beautiful prism, these beautiful rays of color, and it projects the image onto this surface, okay? That's what we want. So that is like a slide would do, where you have this light source behind it, and it shines through the slide, and it projects the slide onto the wall. But what we want is we want it to interact with this atmosphere like a church would, that would have like incense burning in the church, where there's like an atmosphere in the church, and the incense creates this smoke. And so when the light comes through the slide, it creates this, and it's doing this, the light is interacting with light is interacting with our environment, so we don't really need this on. We don't need this on because we're not going to be turning this into an emission. We don't need this image here, okay? It's interacting with the VDB already. It's passing through this, but it's not picking up the color, okay? So we can take this, I think, off the base. We don't need it, but since it's here, so I'm going to tell you, I thought, oh, we'll put it on glossy color. That would never work. That wouldn't work, okay? But this is the trick. Look at that now, okay? See, this is how you do it, okay? So, and I believe you can take this off the base color. I'm not sure. Yeah, all you need, because the glossy color is like a slide on top of your base color, okay? So now look at these rays here, okay? Now what we can do is we can take our spotlight here and we can start attenuating things, okay? To make them, we can adjust our VDB. We can adjust the light here to make this more, because you see it's picking up just the center of this, okay? So it's very simple. You put a light in here, you turn this into a ghost light, and then you put the image on the ghost light on your glossy color. Okay? And that right there, that one little tip is going to give you the most beautiful, and I want to see images. If you if you make something with this and put some beautiful light in a scene, let me know, okay? Come into and say, I made an image with this, and and let me know that you've done this, okay? And because that's what I want to see, is more art with really beautiful lighting like this, okay? This is the God ray technique of all techniques. So we can take this spotlight, we can bump it up more now, okay? Go in here and just give it more power. Give it a 5. And look at that. Now what's happening in this image, we have a couple of things. It's like it's coming in strong in the middle and like fading as we go out. So if you want a really sharp edge around the edge, then what you have to do is look through your spotlight, okay? Okay, and then you would go here to your beam exponent, I think. That makes it small. That makes the beam like very, very, okay, it makes it smaller. Okay, and when we go large like this, see how it makes it hard? Okay, it makes the beam. So we go back to the perspective view, and now when we zoom out, we should have a nice crisp line around the edge. See that? Okay. And now the thing is, what about all of these little speckles and all? Well, that's part of your VDB. Okay, so you have to go into your VDB, into our poof. All right, we do this into here. And then we go to surfaces. And you have to play with this absorption multiplier and the scattering multiplier. Now, what these multipliers are, the scattering multiplier makes the light scatter and hit all kinds of little particles. So you can see it scattering around, and it's hitting these particles and hitting, and it's like bouncing off one and hitting another one and another one. Okay, so if you take the scattering multiplier and bring it to black, it won't scatter at all, but you won't have any light, okay? So you have to keep that scattered to some degree, all right? But then this absorption multiplier is how much each little particle hangs on to the light, rather than letting it just kind of hit it once and go. It'll hold it for a while, okay? And so you play with this absorption multiplier, and I believe, I'm not sure this way, okay? It doesn't absorb the light, okay, as much. And when you go black, see, it's going to grab that light and absorb it more, okay? So you have to play with this, okay, so that you get it just right, the scattering multiplier. And you kind of make the absorption a little bit more, here. The scattering one's easier for my brain to understand. The absorption one isn't as good. And then you have this light so bright here. And say, let's just, so since this is so bright, let's take our spotlight. Now, what we can do is if it's letting it pass through so much, it's letting it pass through without much obstruction, then you can turn the spotlight down, okay? So you can come in here and take and lower this to, just take that 5 off maybe, all right? Or you can take this plane, which is black. I mean, this is a white plane, okay? It looks black, but it's actually a white plane, all right? And you can take this plane. This is our large plane. You go to the surfaces here, the large plane, and we can make the plane darker. Okay? And if the plane's darker, then we can come into our spotlight here. So we can kind of trick it a little bit, all right? And we can bring this up to like 9, okay? And then we can end up with this really beautiful, okay, we got to do this. And then we turn this around. Like, can you help me turn this around? Like this, maybe. I think I have to turn it, hold the alternate, which key? Oh, the right key, no, it's the middle mouse button. No, which one is, okay. See, I've made this, what we can do now is we can take all of this, our spotlight, our plane, and our poof, and we can group them. Group, okay, lighting, light all, let's see, light all, okay. Then we can take, and we're at the front here, we can take this light all, and we can go like this. All right, and that one, and we're going to turn that to 90. All right, and we can move it up, Y translate. And now look what we have here. And now we can bring our figure into the scene. Okay. A statue of Napoleon, maybe. Maybe Ricardo Montalban. We could have him in here. That, okay, so let's put in a figure and see how big they are. So of course you're not going to want this little tip part in there, okay? Look at this. So we come in here now like this. Now if you want this, if you just want the light and you don't want the flower here, okay? It's as soon as our figure comes in, okay? Well, we have to put, that's where our ground plane is. So what we're going to do is zoom in on, well, we can't do that yet. All right, we're going to go like this, and we're going to move light all. We're going to move this up like this. So this is about near our plane, ground plane. There we go. Look at that. Okay, it's still not quite there though. And let's scale this all down. Maybe will it scale for us? Thank you, Art. Thank you for the compliment, my friend. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we have to go now to the side. We have to bring this over. Okay, and then we come back to the front, and we can go Y translate. Now you guys, if you gotta, and gals, you gotta learn this technique. You gotta make stuff with it, all right? Very cool stuff with it. Okay, so now we can kind of zoom in on this world. Here, we're going to make this a little smaller. Scale it down like that maybe. Y translate. What happened to my man? Where is he? I can't see him. I think it's still Y translate. I think I'm still above him. There he is. Where is he? Okay, so in doing this all, like scaling this all, it looks like my light got more intense. I think he's over here. Where is he? Okay, Genesis 9, we're going to, oh, he's right there. So we bring this back here, over here, and then we bring this down. Okay, Genesis 9, where are you? Let's see. I think he might be behind all of this. Yeah, he is. There he is, behind it. So we go light all, Z. Wanted to go back here. All right, step into the light, ladies and gentlemen. This is the magical mystery tour. Step right this way. And be entertained. Let's see, here we go. All right, so we're going to zoom in now. I think that's about the height we wanted and all. So now we're going to go here to the side. Okay, what we do is we select our Genesis 9 and then we can zoom around him. Well, no, we have to go like this. Then we can zoom out. And then we can zoom around him like this. Okay, and now we can take this this light here and Y translate. Let's see if we can see this in Iray. Control L. No, we have a plane or something right in front of us. What is this? How did that happen? This is strange. Okay, I think this plane okay. Light all. And we do Y translate. Okay. Okay. Now we zoom out. Okay, we can take some of this light. I don't know why this. What this? Why when I go into. This is my plane. Why when I go out of here? Okay, now it seems to be gone. Oh, well, here. Why do I have this plane here? Oh, okay. This is our... So somehow that didn't get rotated. This is our atmosphere, or a part of our atmosphere thing. We might as well like move it, okay, 180, 180, 90. Okay, this has got to be 90, minus 90. What about this? Scale, 180. Why is this still kind of off like that? Okay, we'll move it like that, and we'll move it like this. I think this is just a placer. I don't know that this, yeah, I don't know that this actually has much of a function other than, okay, to just show you where something kind of is. And the placer didn't, for some reason, didn't get moved, okay? So I may have just screwed up my, if I did, I'll just put the poof back in, okay? So we go now to 0 and see if we still have an atmosphere. No, we've messed up the atmosphere. So that's what we have to do, is take the atmosphere out for now. And I'd like to take this spotlight and just attenuate it down a little bit. It's just a little too much. Let's go 5. Let's go 1. All right, there we go. Now let's put, he's in the center of the world, okay? So that's a good thing right there. Seeing like a reflection of some sort, okay? Hey, Serenity. Oh, welcome, Serenity. Welcome, welcome. This video you want to watch. This is going to teach you the most coolest lighting effect that you can imagine in DAZ Studio. And the trick is putting the image on glossy, which of all things, who would have ever thought of putting an image on glossy? Well, I did. And nobody, not even AI, figured this one out. This was me. This was my mistake. All right, now I think what I can do with this all light, see now that I have this here, is you see I can kind of get him in the middle of that flower. A little bit there. And pull this over a little bit, kind of get, while I can see sort of what's happening. Not that the flower is the middle, but you'd think logically that that would be the middle. I can't really tell whether if he's there. See, it's not really the middle of my image, but it does kind of seem logical that that's where you'd want him standing. Okay, so, all right, now let's move this back a little bit, like that, and over a little bit, X. And that puts him kind of in the middle of this flower. All right. Now, as you can see, you're not going to get, let's put some pants on him. You're not going to get God rays without an atmosphere, okay? You're going to get the projection like a slide projector. It's going to project the image that's on this plane, on this slide, so to speak, okay? You'll get the image. Okay, I just put pants, I think, on the wrong thing. Okay, here, let's try putting some pants on here. And then we'll put the figure, put some shape. They don't even have skin yet, skin color. They're still that gray color. Let's go with Melville. All right, our Melville. Yes. So this is, we're not only projecting a slide, but then we're using the color array within the image to project the light through it, and the light picks up the color and creates this array of God rays, okay? So now we've got a male shape on him. And let's now give him some skin. Okay, we'll go with Nathan's skin. Okay. It's reflecting the color very nicely on him. Now, what I've found with these God rays is sometimes what you want to do is take your projection and move it ahead, okay? So that it comes at them from the front, okay? And then you have then you're killing two birds with one stone. You're creating this beautiful lighting array, but you're also lighting them from the front, okay? Because when the light comes straight down on them, it's not going to light their face, okay? So this light up top really needs to come at him. So what we do is we take this light here, okay, which is our spotlight, and plane 1, and we group them together, okay? Create a group. Okay, this would be, so we'll call this spot and gobo. That's what technically what that plane is called. And then we take the plane and we move it over here, and then we turn it like this. Okay? And that is going to give us some lighting from the front. This is kind of interesting, isn't it? Now it's going off the edge of our plane, so we just make our plane larger and move it in, I guess. Translate it Z. No, that's not the Z. Which way are where front? That should be Z. Our large plane Z should take it. Oh, this. Oh, I've moved the plane so all of its coordinates are different now. Okay, we rotated the plane, and so now it has these weird coordinates. Okay, so now what we need to do is bring in and look at that color coming right at him now. So we take our Genesis 9, we get down a little close and see what he looks like. Well, he's got like a flower projected right on him. Now here is where that's kind of interesting. So now this image I painted myself with the help of AI. I told the AI the colors to paint, and the AI used the paintbrush and everything. But so it's kind of like a royalty free because I asked the AI to make it for me. So yeah, so this, okay, so we use the spotlight in gobo. We can go like this. We can kind of move this until we get something here that we like, which that kind of works. We could go Z. Maybe like this. And X. Y, rotate. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's kind of cool, all right? It kind of works. Z, so now what we do is we put our HDRI in, not the HDRI, we put in our poof. Okay. And now we can come in like this. So I would say now that our light here okay, is pretty interesting. So what we do is we go now to our poof, because remember we had all kinds of settings we changed, and then I had to delete it. So we go here into surfaces, and what we do is we take this scattering, and the more I bring this, the more invisible the light penetrates through. See, without. So we can bring this down like a bit, like this. And now look what we have. This beautiful world. Okay, I don't think my poof is over all the way. Okay, so something's not right. Okay, let's go from straight from the front. Let me bring the poof over. Maybe this way. Yeah. There we go. Now when we come in like this, and save this as flower man. And then we go here. It looks like I could probably like angle the light a little bit to bring that line straight up. So, but that's okay. We go here into our, where is it? Spot and gobo. We go like this, X rotate. That's not it. Go this one. Or this way. Okay, that's 16. What is this way? Goes 34 minus 34 minus 16. Oh, 16. Now that's a big jump here to point minus the. Okay, so let's go 13. Let's go 12. All right, see how that kind of works? Now it's kind of thrown this off a little bit. So what I could do is just move it Z. Bring that down like that. C. Just move it until it looks right. Okay, there we go. And we go minus 12, 10, 10, 5. Let's go 5 minus 0.5. There we go. This kind of works. Let's put a pose on him. Save this. Genesis 9. And we go here. Poses are here. I don't know, that's a little too dramatic. Cancel. That's nice. Right there. Let's give him some hair. Let's move him over a little bit, maybe. Z. I don't want to move the chain. We're going to move him. Okay. And save this. And then what we do, I think he could come over just a tiny bit more. I'm such a stickler here. There we go. We give him some hair. We'll go with just the regular shaved. No, that didn't work. I didn't quite have them selected. All right. And some facial hair to give him a little bit of contour on his face. Beard. Yeah. Save that. And so this is an amazing technique, people. This is going to give you this kind, like if that yesterday, if you remember me doing the tavern, imagine that light coming in and whatever design. Now, what if I don't want this floor, this image on the floor? Well, you take the floor here. You have a couple of options, okay? I can put a plane in front of this, okay? Well, actually, I can put an invisible plane in front of this and make the plane black and not let the light pass through. There are some things you can do, but you can also just take this large plane here, go to surfaces, and just make it black. Okay. And then we have this. Okay. Because it's not going to reflect off the black. And these lights, you know, they look like little planar things that are like the old school lights that we had with all the little planes in them, but they're not. They're the real deal here, okay? I like the flower on the floor better, but you have options, okay? So now you do have to, like I said, point it in towards. Now there's a possibility I could maybe get a spotlight on him, and it might not look like your headlights in the fog, okay? So, but we go back to our large plane here, and we just take our base color and bring it back up here. Maybe we don't need it quite as bright. We can make it as bright as we want it. See that? Or we can make it really bright. So, yeah, I think that's too bright. It's distracting. So maybe about here. And now we could bring our camera in so we can get some detail on him. But then we kind of lose our array of lights. Okay, but we have this really beautiful only in DAZ Studio can you, with the partnership of NVIDIA with Iray, and we go here now to our let's take and put some body hair on him. I don't really like the way his chest looks, this particular body. Okay, so maybe the hair will fix it. It's just this shape here doesn't look natural, right? It doesn't look right. Let's see what happens when we put some hair there. It's just not going to be that hard to just switch him to a different body shape. Hopefully he still maintains. Yeah, see, that's a little better, but I'm going to just switch his body shape. This is why I have all these shapes here. So let's try my Nego guy. It's because the light is creating this under this shadow here, because of the light is coming down at a certain angle. Hopefully I don't have to, I have to get up really up close and see whether if his foot's going through the floor. What I'm going to do is put a I don't know if that's better or not. Let's go with a different shape. Sandin. And it looks like I might need to put some D-force, some more sub-D on him. It's like, it looks just a little, these shadows look a little bit kind of chunky. That could help. I could just do morphs on his chest with other stuff, but I'd just rather find just the right body by just, I'm going to put the sub-D on him. I may just have to tolerate it, okay? Okay, because that, I'm not sure that that just made it worse, okay? Let's first put a sub-D on him. Okay, let's save this. We'll go to sub-D. Now I could take these rays and I could make this flower smaller, and that would give us more of these little rays for our, so that, and the way to do that would be bring our light closer to down closer to the floor. I think I'm going to leave this for now. It's not bad. I like the way, I like this kind of, it's kind of like a red ochre. Very tribal. Let's see now. His body's not that bad here, but let's see. I think some of the others were better. So we go now to Genesis 9. We go to surfaces. Genesis 9. Okay, no, parameters. Genesis 9. We are looking for this sub-D. Let's bring this up. We bring this up to 2. Where are we? We're not going to leave it on 5. 5 is way overkill. Okay. So now we'll see. Now, I think if I switch his body to a different shape, it may actually put, this is Felix. It may actually put the sub-D back. I'm not sure. So I would really like to know if anybody does this, uses this effect. Let me know in the gallery, or if you do use it in the gallery, it'd be nice if you gave a shout out to me and said, you know, hey, I learned how to do this. Okay, I think I can deal with that. It looks a little softer here now. And I think that, did we lose our sub D? No, the sub D stayed on. Okay, I don't mind this now. This just looks like, he looks a tiny bit emaciated, but not really. So now what we do is we put a camera in the scene, create. This is the first time we put a camera in the scene. My suggestion is, if the way I did it was I just kept the spotlight pointing straight ahead. If you're going to make a scene with, you know, where you want this, start your spotlight, point it, put your spotlight where you kind of want it to go, and then put the plane in front of it. And you don't need this third plane if you have, you know, like a church or a tavern or something like that already to catch the light, to catch this image. And then you have to come up with some kind of image that you want to, and it doesn't have to be like flowers. It could be some kind of geometrical thing, and and you can turn it off. It's this part of turning this image off is kind of hard, because in a tavern you can't just make everything black. Okay, so this part is difficult to kind of figure out how to turn this off. If you find a way of turning this off, let me know, okay? So that you can keep so that it, you know, maybe, because this is projecting quite an image on the floor here. It's quite a detailed image. So we have our camera here. Let's lock the camera. And then this is why I wanted to zoom in on his feet. Okay, we're going to select our figure and zoom right in on his toes. And they're probably going right through the floor. Not really, but it's not perfect. Okay, so we take this. Okay, that's good. There. Some very powerful toes. That's beautiful. So we go back to our camera view. Save this. Now let's go into our render settings. I'm not sure if this helps or not, putting the Caustic sampler on. It looks like it kind of took some of the transparency out, maybe. I'm not sure. Let's see, we turn it off. Yeah, I think it looks smoother. It certainly renders faster. Okay, and so I'm going to leave the Caustic sampler off at this point. We go to General, and now we're going to go here and render this at 6,000. No, it's 6,000, not 60,000. 6,000. It's 6K. And we go to our progressive renders. We go to maximum. Oh, they're already up, and the render quality is off. Save this again. Look at that. Now we go to render at 6,000. We're going to see every single flaw. Thank you for stopping by. You want to watch this from the beginning and you will learn the most amazing tip for, that's pretty good. I would say that is pretty nice. Okay, this, the hair, I think, could be a little bit less. Okay, so yes, welcome, welcome. We have a troop here of awesome people today, and I'm almost towards the end of this video, so we're gonna go. This is why we render things large, okay? So that we can take now the torso parameters. We're gonna take the full length. Let's gonna just go and bring that down some. Okay, the feet were fine, the arms were fine. It was just the chest, I thought. The torso, and is there an abdomen? I don't think so. Arms, okay, armpits are fine. Now there was the Thomas beard. Shorter cheeks. Let's get close and see what we're doing. Okay, see, that kind of works. And I think the torso can go shorter even more. Where was that? Torso, where was that? Full length. Okay, that's... Okay, that works better, I think. All right, that kind of works. Now the facial beard. What's going on with his eyes? Has he got that eye problem? Let's see. Are your eyes in the right place, dude? They're kind of a little bit off, but not that bad. I think they probably work, but let's see. Let's pull these out a little bit. You can't really see the other eye, but we'll fix it anyway. And now this beard, let's make this beard, see if we can get it to be stubble. Let's see, Thomas beard. Shorter cheeks. What about the rest? Okay, I'm going to delete the beard. We're going to switch to a different beard. We're just going to switch to stubble. Beard. Zeke. And snap into place, please. Come on, anytime. There we go. That looks better, I think. Okay, we're going to go back to our camera view. Save this again. Now let's do a render. Yes, so what we are working on today is putting images onto ghost lights and then projecting the color, like the slide, through an atmosphere and creating God rays that way. Yeah, see, that looks much better, okay, than the full beard. Looks good. There's a little something weird going on here. Not sure that I like that, but maybe it'll reticulate out. Okay, the eyebrows, I don't really like his eyebrows. This is going to bother me, so this is going to have to go. We're going to have to do a different stubble. This little, I don't know what that is, a distortion. It's a weight map thing. Now there's a possibility of fixing it by using mesh grabber smoothing tool, but I think it'd just be easier to just switch it out with something else. Okay, perspective. And I don't like these, like these are the eyebrows that come with the non-binary figure. Okay, so we're gonna take the eyebrow card and get rid of that. Give him something a little chunkier there. And then the stubble is gonna go, and we're going to just, I do that because it gives a little bit more decorative. It makes it more decorative, okay? It just gives you one extra level of detail and now a goatee alone can make him kind of look evil or mean. So I kind of go with the stubble. Let's see if we can find another stubble option. Asher stubble. I think that's Genesis 8, but let's try it. Yeah, Genesis 8 male. Let's see how it works, how it works. We might have to find a color or change the color. Okay, this to me is, all right, are you going to let me look at the render or what? So it's not going to let me look at the render. I think it may be opened on my other monitors. Sometimes it just decides to open on my Echo HDMI 2.
Okay.
All right, are you on my other monitor? No, it's just not going to let me look at it. All right, how many iterations do we have here? We're up to 1,000. So if I just talk for a little while, I can cancel this, and then it'll let me look at it. Oh, maybe it's over here. On this monitor. Yes, it is. Okay, so we got it here. Let's move it. Okay. Echo HDMI 1.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, that looks, I think, acceptable. It looks like it's a little bunched up there, but it looks okay. Actually, it looks kind of I don't like, it needs a little bit of, the eyebrow, I can live with that now. It's a little bit more, a little heavier looking. I like that look better. But this, it's not that bad, but I'd like to make it a little more transparent. Okay, so we go here. It just doesn't like fit with his other hair. Close this, so we go now and zoom back in, perspective, and let's go into Iray. Now let's go to our figure here. Genesis 9, shaved hair. Is that it? That's the shaved hair. No, this is the stubble. I'm going to get rid of this stubble. I'm just going to find another stubble. I have so many things of stubble, and if it's just not right, well, it's just maybe I can find something that, where's the beard? Poses, beard. Okay. Dragomir beard. These are all beard. Beard mask. What's this? This one. Let's see what this one looks like. I think this one was made by, okay, this is Genesis 8. By, this one I think was made by Dad's Originals. You know, they're not always. I mean, you look at like the, okay, that's more of a beard, and that doesn't quite look right. Maybe it does. Let's see. It's kind of... No. It's not bad, but it's too much. Beard. Okay, we have this one. Let's try this. Okay, stubble. We have this. This one is for Genesis 9. This is probably one of the best stubbles that I have. Up in the top ones here. Come on, snap to his face. Well, that's weird. Is it going to snap to his face? That's very strange. Okay, well that's going. That didn't work at all. Beard. Beard apply Mavic. My stomach is freaking out. We'll try this unrivaled. It says beard, says short. Nope. See. Let's try this Diego one. This is Genesis 8. This is an older one, style 2. Male. Genesis 8 male. How is this going to work? And so, you know, I don't want to take, you know, I don't want to insult somebody who's just learning, but then again, it's like somebody who just doesn't like, now that looks pretty good. It's still snapping on. Yeah, this I can deal with. That is like really nice, okay? These eyebrows, I think there might be a little bit too heavy. Too heavy. So, eyebrows, fiber style. Let's try something else. Eyebrows. Now we go, you know, out of all these eyebrows that came with Genesis 9, there's like only a few that I really like. See, like that doesn't work for me. It's too pointed. This one, I think. No. See, I mean, you know, and they all work well on a certain figure, okay? I think I can just, no, I can't. I have to, I think I can just select these eyebrows here. Okay, we're just gonna get rid of these eyebrows, and we'll just keep trying till we get the right eyebrows. I'd like them to kind of come down here, like that, and not to go out, and not to come up like and curve too much. Let's go backwards. What's here? All right, we have these Romeo brows, Bruce brows. Let's give Bruce brows a try. Genesis 8 male. They're probably not going to work. Yeah, sometimes I end up just going through brows after brows after brows. No, I mean, they're kind of nice, but they're just way too much, and I could trim them down a little bit, but Z, let's just keep going here. Okay, how about these Romeo brows? I think he's Genesis 8. What a surprise it was when when like a lot of the facial hair worked with Genesis 9, the eyebrows worked. So, you know, the only problem is that okay, now I like this, all right? I like this. This looks pensive, but I don't know what it's going to look like from a distance, but it looks, I like this kind of thing. So we go to the camera. Yeah, that works. Save this. So now we go render again. So okay, I've got to get out of here like now. All right, so here's my finished render here. This looks a little bit ragged here, but I'm going to leave it. It looks like there's something going on there. This is something I could fix in post work, but I'm going to leave that as well. His feet look fine there. Now this flower looks a little bit. Now, something to think about is this looks pixelated. Okay, so when you use an image to project, you might want to use like a 4K image. Now, I got this image. I got this image here from AI. Brent, okay, 10K. I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's like, oh, we have 10,000 people watching. Nice. Oh, we are at how many iterations? Probably we're 4. Okay, 5,000 iterations. This is done. We can call this done. We cancel this, yes. And this is called Flower Man. Cancel this. So 10K. So I usually like on that other site, I'll like something and then I'll look out and see how many likes it has. I don't go by likes. In fact, I kind of get a satisfaction of liking something that nobody else does. Flower Man. And then we can look and see. It looks like he's got a tattoo there or something. Flower Man. So we'll go here to our stuff here and we'll go to PNG. Flower Man. Okay, we'll take this copy that. And we'll paste that to my desktop. V. Now we can look at it. That's pretty interesting. So it gives you these now. Now I think the mistake that I kind of made here with this image is that I should have shrunk this all down so that that we got more of this image, and then we wouldn't have had these wide kind of gradients of light. We would have had smaller little, each one of these you can see like this yellow here, that's this yellow here, and you can see that like this purple here, that's this purple in here. My mouse went to sleep. My monitor went to sleep. This is going to do it for me, my little talk at the end. Thank you, people, for watching, for hanging out for as long as you have. I hope I didn't bore you with all this talk, but we have a kind of nice image here. I think this came out pretty nice. And so, thank you very much for watching. I am going to play this splash screen. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you are just tuning in and watching this. Please subscribe and come back, be part of the live thing. We had our first person tonight was Angus, and then Brent came in, and then we had Art show up. And it was nice because Brent missed the last one. I don't know if he got a notification or not. Then Serenity's Gate, an unknown robot. And yes, we've had a very nice, beautiful group of people here tonight. Thank you for watching. And I will see the great render. Yeah, thank you very much, Serenity's Gate. You are awesome. And Art has been here. I think he's still probably around if he's not busy for now. So thank you. I will see you all again. I don't know if I'm going to be back. I don't think I can really top this particular video much because I think this video was the top, okay? Doing this with lighting. So if you haven't seen the beginning of this video, and Art, I don't know if you watched that or not at the beginning, but watch the beginning of this video. Now, the last two videos, I think the first video, like the first part of the first video, you'll see there's part 1 and part 2. This is kind of like part 3, but it has a different image for it, okay? So I would especially watch the beginning of part 1, and then you could just skip over the middle video and watch this part 3, okay? But I would watch especially the beginning of part 3, okay? So, all right, you take care. I will see you. Angus, have a wonderful night, people. And you are all awesome. You are all awesome. So, all right, you take care. I will see you soon, my friends. And as Unknown Robot says, goodbye, all. All right, we got a splash screen, and I will be back to say goodbye. Okay, I get to go full screen now, people. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in the next EZ3DTV tutorial.